Hello and welcome. This is Chris-Anne. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chris-Anne. And we are going to be doing part 2 of our video on a myriad of different ways that we can make products we can use, ways we can decorate, all the different whale tail tab punches. So we are making these. Now you can use this shape, you can use whatever shape you have, whatever punch you have, or if you have a die cut that you want to run through your die cut machine, you can do that too. I happen to have this. This is the Stampin' Up! One by EK Success from a gazillion years ago. This is one of my favorites. There are versions that you can get on Temu. There are versions you can get on Amazon. There are versions you can get everywhere. Stampin' Up! Still has some things that you can find, whether it be from Stampin' Up! Or from eBay. So there's a lot of different options that are out there. This is what I have. This is what I use. And I have said before in other videos, I love to have a big collection made. This is what we did in video 1. So video 1, if you haven't seen it, go back and check that one out. This was a different video. Let's see, we did playing cards, we did stenciling, we did some of those Tim Holtz strips, we did papers that are decorated with sprays, we did washi, all this fun stuff. So you can use this shape or you can use this shape, whatever you want. I like to have a whole bunch made because it's at the ready for me to be able to use them. And once I have them actually made and in a box, I am more apt to use them and it makes my crafting go quicker. I like sitting and making these. This is kind of fun for me. So I don't know, come join in my fun. So we have a whole bunch, I have a list of different ways that we can make these. Some of these we have done in other videos, but I'm putting it all together in this one video so it's all in one place. Well, it's actually 2 videos. Let me move this out of the way. So the next way that we are going to decorate paper that we will then cut it out for our whale tail tab punches is with watercolor. I never know which way the paper is up and which way the paper is down. Let me look over here. I still can't tell. I think that's up. I never can tell. I have to take it out of the paper pack directly or else I can't tell the difference. So just bear with me. I'm using this watercolor set from Artsy. I have used this in a million videos that we have done. And you can see I've done some before. I just have a spray bottle and you have to spray water on your watercolors to activate them. My spray bottle was acting up. I do have some brushes in here. These are wet. Let me hang this up. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit of water on my paper. This doesn't need to be fancy at all. This is a wet on wet technique. I am just putting color down onto the, well, I'm mixing some color over here on my palette. I'm just putting some color down random on my paper. The thing that I want you to remember is this doesn't have to be works of art that we're creating in all of these techniques. We're going to be punching them out to like this size. So it doesn't matter what we do here. Just get color down and just sort of be happy with color overlapping, color working together. I like to create my own papers because then I am getting something unique. I am getting something that not everybody is going to have in their journal. You know, I love the Tim Holtz things. Love, love, love the Tim Holtz things. But we all use the Tim Holtz things. And they're fun and they're great. And I still will use them. But then you get a sense of everybody has sort of a carbon copy or a clone of everybody else's thing that's out there. And nothing wrong with that. But I like unique things. I like artistic things. Yes, I love vintage. I love grunge. I love all that. But I love color too. So some of the benefits with creating some of these papers and different things that we create for our journals, for our cards, for jewelry, because I do make jewelry with a lot of these techniques as well, it becomes uniquely ours. And you don't have to worry about copyright policies if you go to sell something. I used to be extremely mindful of that, especially when I was using rubber stamps. Rubber stamp companies have angel policies. The angel policy dictates whether it's able to be mass produced, sold, etc. The angel policy for a rubber stamp company is their copyright policy. And way back when, before we had the internet, that's how long I've been stamping, you know, you used to contact the company and say, hey, what's your angel policy? And if they were a fly-by-night company, they had no idea what I was talking about. I could always tell, like, a decent company, because it would be printing it in their catalog. Or when they started to get websites, it would be posted on their website. But way back when, easier said than done to get some of this information. But I would pick up the phone and call them and just say, hey, what's your angel policy? Because I have been selling my art since the age of 5. And I wanted to continue to sell my art. So I needed to be within compliance. I have been at craft fairs where companies have come up and taken items off of people's tables, even though they made it, because they made it with something that was not copyright compliant to be sold. I'm not going to name names of companies, but it wasn't a rubber stamp company. It was not rubber stamp. So, yeah. I learned very quickly, you know, you want to be compliant, you got to be compliant. Especially if you want to sell your items. Okay, I'm not going to fill this whole page, but go ahead and you fill your whole page, because keep in mind when you're using your paper punch, it's going to be near the edges. And then when you're doing this, the other thing you can do is overlap. Then you get a depth of color. When we did video 1 of this, I had my Punchinella, and we would come over and we would stencil on top of things. Feel free to do that. Let's see, let's get this. We'll do some gold. If you haven't watched me before, I like circles. I tend to do a lot of circles. So I do go over with a lot of metallic gold, metallic silvers. You can layer on top of the layers, etc. Keep going. You know, you want to come and fill all this. Then the other thing you can do is, if this isn't the right color tone for you, you can take your spray bottle, just like we do with the Distress Oxides. You can add a little bit of water to that and you can sort of let the watercolor do its thing. See, I'm kind of losing some of the circles because some of them are blending in to each other, and you can pick up your paper, you can move it around. Prime example right here. I love that. Get some movement going. We're only making teeny tiny little pieces. Frankly, I would probably do jewelry with something like this as well, and I have done videos on that. We're going to be doing some more because I need some more jewelry. So I would let this sit, clean my brush. I would let this dry. You want to take a heat tool, whatever, to dry it, go ahead. I do tend to do this in the summer where I can just let it sit in the sun on my table. So, through the miracle of YouTube, we have a paper that I have already done. Hold on. Cassie Rose is in here and she just moved. Hold on. All right. Okay. So here's my paper. It is fully watercolored. I have layered over the layers. Here's my punch. Now, see, we have this big, I have different colors here, different colors here, different colors here. I did that on purpose because I wanted a variety of colors. So this is sort of a paler one. This is going to be more bronze. See? And I'm using metallic watercolor, so how cool is that? And then we can come over here. We can get sort of all of the above. See? And now look how many I'm going to get out of this paper. This is awesome from mass producing these. It's also great for hand strength. And then I would come in and I would do this as well. I'm not going to do that right now, but I am going to put this aside because you know I'm going to do that off camera. So, look. We got all these fun whale tail tabs. Super simple, super easy. So just think, you know, if you just need to sit down and do some watercoloring, it's relaxing. You don't have to paint an actual picture. You just want to be sort of abstract with what it is that you're making. Just taking the paint, putting it to paper. That's it. Look, I'm adding to my stash. I am mass producing these because later I will come in and I will edge those in whatever color. It could be black, it could be brown, it could be blue. The ink that I'm edging these in. And that depends on the journal that I'm creating. It depends on the vibe of that, you know, journal, what else is with it. I have a little bit of ink on this. And because I used decent watercolor paper, not great watercolor paper, but decent, these are really sturdy. I have done videos like this before, but that's what it is when you have the ink on it, if you haven't done that before. All right, let's move on. I got a lot of different techniques here. Another one that we have done in the past is, where'd it go? You can make a masterboard and you can take different book pages. Let's move these out of the way. And you know what? Let's roll this up over here. It's going to be a glare. You can take this. We have done this a million times. And then I am using my matte gel acrylic medium. We're going to go quickly with this. I am using a silicone tool that I got in the makeup department at the dollar store. Have no idea how to use it as a makeup thing. And then we are just going to lay these down. I want them going every different direction, every which way. This is why I moved my glass mat. You know how to do this. In this case, I normally do my glue stick, but I'm using my acrylic medium here. This does take a few minutes to dry. We are not going to do the whole thing. You get the idea. Take that, let that dry. I'm going to clean this up with this. And then, oh, look, shocker. Through the miracle of YouTube, we have one done. This is great because it works as a very easy background. It doesn't compete with some of the other colors, things that you might have going on, and you can cut these in all different fashions. Don't have it too thick because then it's too difficult to cut. But yeah, that one, and it has a really cool feel to it. I'm gonna do one more of these. So that's that one. That's that technique. I'm not even keeping track of the number. We're just zipping through all of them. And once again, you can fold it. I am not going to do the edging on all of them because I do like to coordinate it. But we have all done this a million times. This is not something new, but I am having reminders in this video of techniques we like. And just a reminder of, hey, use that technique for this as well. So there's another type of whale tail. Let's add that to our bucket. While I have this out, this brings me to another type that I like to do. So let's move this aside. I have a pile going over there. I have done a recent video on this, and it is using the napkin decoupage. So let's just do a little bit of this just as a reminder. And as a reminder, I left my seal on my lid like this, so when I go to take the medium out, I can wipe it off on one side of this. Come in, add this. I'm not going to get too involved in this technique because I just did not too long ago an extensive video on this where we did napkin decoupage masterboard. So go check that one out because I did all different napkins going all different directions. You get the idea. You know how to do this. We've done this for years. You can use any type Mod Podge, any type of medium that you would like. I like this feel when this is dry. To me, this is a really cool feeling. So let's just wipe that on my finger there. Need to let that dry. And I pull apart the napkins because normally they're 3-ply. Sometimes they're 2-ply, sometimes they're 3-ply. I pull those all apart. So we are going to let this one dry. And guess what? Through the miracles of YouTube, I'm going to get this out of here. Through the miracles of YouTube, we have one dry. This video took me a hot minute to prepare some things. I was saying that yesterday. I've been out shoveling and I just didn't have the energy to prepare what I needed to prepare for this yesterday. So we have the napkin. Yeah, it looks like a Christmas napkin. But when you get it cut, I mean, some pieces are going to look Christmassy, but to me, that's not necessarily Christmassy. And just keep in mind when you're punching it out, some sides are going to have something like this, and these sides are going to have something like this. Once again, edge it in whatever color you want. Has a really cool feel to the end of this one, edge of this one, and these are sturdy. I'm using cardstock. Well, we'll do that later. I have a whole bunch of these papers sitting over here. We'll take care of those later. So another cool idea, if you're doing things with these techniques and you have little bits of paper left over, this is a great thing to kind of use up some of those bits and scraps. You know, this isn't a huge bit. It's not a huge scrap. But when you put it in your journal, however you're going to put it in your journal, it adds a little bit of fun. Okay, so there's that one. All right, I'm going by my list right here. Okay. The next thing that I wanted to do, let me grab this paper right here. We all have, let's see, I had another one here. Let me see if I can grab it. Yeah, we all have a version of pastels. Pastels are really soft, pretty medium to work with. Now, you can have your pastels in this fashion. You can have them in the tubs. Years ago, you know, from Stampin' Up, they were in like little pots. I also have the pan pastels. Come in this fashion. However it works for you. Use your pastels. So this is another idea of another way to decorate these. So I'm just trying to close this box up. And I'm going to get this one out of the way. There. Okay, so for these, let me grab a different brush. This isn't the brush I wanted, but this is the brush we're going to use. So you can just take a brush, a little stiffer brush works a little bit better, and just put some color down. You can also take your finger and go like this. So these are sort of cheaper pastels. I do like the pan pastels better. Let's grab those. All right. And then this one, let's do the blue. And let's looking for my other color here. Do blue and green. When it comes to pastels, in my opinion, top of the line is pan pastels. This I got from Ocean State Job Lots. It was $6. Oops, that needs to go in there. We will put that in later. I just have to put it in right now so I don't lose it. All right. So pan pastels are great because it's a pastel, it's a chalk, but it's almost creamier. This is going to give you a really soft look, much like we were doing with the watercolors. Just get color down. That's all you're concerned about. Eventually you can come in and fill in all the bits. Let's switch over to the green. You get them shipped to you. Sometimes this is what happens. And you see the price, and then you see this, and it's heartbreaking. But it's reality. They're still usable. So we're just going to come in and we're just going to color in all the white spots. This is a really softer look. I don't know. It just has a nice vibe to it. And look at, I'm not using hardly any product. You want to fill up a whole paper with that. You want to fill up a small paper with that. Do what makes you happy. Now, I do want to get these out of my way. I do keep them in this box. I need a bigger box. I know. For now, this is what I have. Okay. So we have this. If you're concerned about the chalk coming off, because it does, you can hit it with a little bit of crayon spray. Workable Fixative is a great one. Look at that. Really fun. Really pretty. Once again, you can coordinate the colors with whatever your journal is, whatever your page is, whatever your theme is. Okay, so let me see. Whoops, my list is falling. Let me clip my list back up here. Okay. Let me go in this bag over here. I have a bag full of goodies. All right, the next thing that I wanted to do was talk about packaging. We all have all of this different packaging, and especially the Tim Holtz stuff. I mean, it's pretty. I like it. So you can do this. Now look at that is cool if you're going to be using like a grunge kind of vibe, or if you like, like in this case, it's these. So we'll do this one sideways. So be careful how you hold this. This would be perfect if you're doing a side tuck, something that you need to pull out, because the writing, the information goes in that fashion. So you can do that. You can do that. I mean, you wanted this as part of your vibe. Go ahead and do that. That's kind of cool too. Especially if you're doing a very specific junk journal. It's really neat to see that you are using all aspects of that. So there's another type. I should be keeping count, but I am not. Okay, so let's get this one out of the way. My bag is full of ideas over here. All right, this one is also very much what we just did. This is a different type of packaging. This is food packaging. Let's see, let's go right here. These are a little thicker. So this is great, once again, if you're doing a junk journal. You might not know what that picture is. You might not know it's waffles with blueberries, or you maybe do. But you could be going for the color scheme. It's the color that you're going for. I can come over here and I can get this, but once I fold it, it changes. Well, fold it better than I did. You're not going to see this on the other side. But look, it's the color that I'm going for. So keep that in mind. If you don't want mean, that would be cool right there. Look at that. I don't care what the letters were. That's a cool one. Oh, I love that. That's really neat. And that's the other side. So think outside the packaging box of all the fun things that you can punch out from this type of food packaging, as well as scrapping up, stamping, whatever packaging. So there's another one. I am so excited. This little box is going to be filled, but I do have other things in this little box, so need to separate it. Cool. So that's that one. Let's see. We already did this one. I have my napkin things here. Oh, this one. Okay. I would like to do some rubber stamping. Now, before I do the rubber stamping, there's something that didn't work out when I was trying to do it. So I want to talk about that too. So I have this Tim Holtz. It's the linen tape. It's patchwork. Gorgeous. I love it. Did not work with my punch. If I wanted to take one of the pieces and freehand cut around it, I certainly can do that. It didn't work with my punch. Yeah, I mean, you can see a little bit of the indentation here. Not happy with that, but I did not want to break my punch. So I just wanted to mention that didn't work. Now, I wanted to talk about rubber stamping, but let me grab this one. So this is the one that we did the other day. Combine your techniques. Combine your stuff. Don't just think, oh, I can only do one technique. No, do multiple techniques, multiple things. Let me grab my ink. Let's see. We'll do green. Although, is this my brown? Yeah, we'll do the truffle. Truffle by Lavinia. This is a gear stamp that I have. A little subtle, but I'm okay with that. So there's that stamped on this. That's that spray paper that we talked about in the other video. This ink pad needs to be re-inked. So I just used all my different types of spray products on that one. And this one's just plain cardstock. So 2 different types of paper to rubber stamp on. That was Truffle by Lavinia. This is a set I got off of Temu. So don't forget to use your rubber stamps to coordinate with whatever theme it is that you are doing in your journal. I'm going to be working on a steampunk journal, which I've been saying for far too many months. So I'm actually making things to go in it. See, I'm sneaking them in. So we have that one with just the white background. And, you know, when you ink anything up, it pops nicely. Rubber stamp. Kind of basic. But this one, we're combining techniques. Trying to get this paper out of my way. It's not out of my way. Put that over there, because I will be using that. Yep, this paper wants to be in my way. Nice. Love it. I think that's fun. Okay, so let's add those in to the bucket. Rubber stamped and pre-decorated paper that we decorated ourselves. Let me hold on to that one because I might be using that one. All right, let me go buy my... No, let me just put it in my bag. grab things. So some of these things we did in the video the other day. I just stuck them right back in. Oh, this one. A lot of us have tags or tickets. Look, it might not be the exact shape and size that we want. But it puts a little dent into it. Kind of nice. But the other thing you can do is take some of these and we're going to glue these down. So keep in mind, this can be constantly fighting this glue. This could be a decorative element that coordinates with the journal. The single one is if you just need something little. All right, it's cute. But I mean, you can even just do that. And that can be one of those pull tab things. So I'm reversing them, putting them here in reverse. Just going to give that a hot second to dry. This is a little thicker because I put it on cardstock. How cool. I love it. And then some of the numbers are upright, some of the numbers are reversed. Some of the numbers are reversed, some of the numbers are upright. So tickets. Love it. And then I can get another one out of that, which I'm not going to do right now. But I am going to put these away. I leave the box attached because I have bonged things and knocked things everywhere, and I don't want to do that to this. Okay. So the other thing we have is we all have ledger paper. Ledger paper is really fun. It coordinates with so many different types of things. But look, you can rubber stamp on ledger paper. I just did it. You can do the Punchinella. I just did it. We can wipe off different paint, inks, whatever. So this is layering on top of ledger paper. So I'm getting the lines that come through. I'm getting the numbers that come through. I don't really, well, I mean, we'll get a flower to show through on this one. Kind of fun, kind of neat. You can use this side, but you can use this side. So I like when all this shows through. See, the lines show through. So if you didn't see video 1 where I did Punchinella on stuff, I just stenciled it. This is Punchinella. And I stenciled right through it. It's what's left over when they create sequins. I bought a huge roll of that off of Amazon quite a while ago. So ledger paper, but layer the ledger paper. We've already done stamping. We've already done stenciling. So that's something you already know. I'm just going to start going through stuff. The other one, so basic. We all do this all the time. It's the tea dyed paper or the coffee dyed paper. I typically leave a piece of paper down when I'm doing my work in all my videos, whether it's to cut down on the glare or to stop from stamping on this thing. Cut that paper up. So that is why I use halfway decent paper, coffee dyed paper, here on my table, because I know I'm going to come back and I'm going to cut it up, whether I make snippets or I make things for cards. I'm going to make these today. And look, I had used this for stamping. So I have, actually I like this one. Let's just come right over here. I have this pine cone here. I have things on the other side too. Yeah, I have these butterflies and things. It was just all different stuff, different projects that I had done in all my videos. Let's move this paper aside. So let's look at this one. Oh, that one has a gem already stuck down on it. Double bonus. So I don't care that they're sort of double stamping on this. This one, actually, that one came out very pretty. This is lighter weight paper because I did the copy weight paper coffee stained. That one's neat. And then this one just has kind of blobs of color on it. Awesome. So it might look like just scrap paper that I have at my desk. I always turn that into something. Always. So scrap paper that you use for rubber stamping or stenciling, because you always stamp off or stencil off or something off. Recycle that and use that. In another recent video, we cut up a calendar. That was my taboo video because we're doing this year's calendar. So let's find some things that would be good. This page, the back cover. And calendars are fun for a couple of reasons. I can get numbers. Now see, this side is going to be going the right way. The other side is going the wrong way. But I'm okay with that because I can decorate that. And then this is going to have to get trimmed. Yeah, I'll get my scissors. And this one is more my focus. But look at that. How adorable is that? And then these that I cut up, I can come back over here. I don't think that one's going to make it. No, that's all right. What's this? We'll just get the color. Oh, get her picture. But I can use it this way. So look at all those cool ones that we got. You can use either side. Doesn't matter. So calendar. Cut up a calendar. Specifically the back page. Because I wanted that smaller scale. Let's move that out of the way. Now some of these I'm zipping through them. You know how to do the technique. You know how to do some of this stuff. I'm just reminding you that, oh yeah, you have that in your stash. Use that too. Case in point is this paper. This is a paper that I do on my gel plate or my gel press. I do these in the summer outside because I have more space to make a mess, more space to get dirty and have fun with all of that. But I have pulls, gel pulls off that plate that don't turn out. And I keep those for stuff like this. Like this, that was just too much paint, just too much. But look at something like this. Awesome. And I love it when it has a little bit on the edge of my gel plate. You can see all the colors that I've done. I think those are so neat. I use those. And here's the other side. I can come over here. Now this is on cardstock, this particular one. Look at all the different colors. I personally like that. I think that's, you know, if you go for the grunge, I think that's kind of cool. This looks totally like a nothing something, but I like that type of stuff. And from this piece of paper, I can get a whole bunch of these. Yes, I am doing the white at the bottom on some of these because I like that. And I used acrylic paint on my my gel press. Gel press, gel plate, I never remember which one is which. So there's that one. Your sort of mistakes when you do the gel press pulls. That's that paper. This wasn't a mistake. This was one that I was kind of happy with the colors. This was like a second or third generation pull. Look at that. Very cool. Love all that. And once again, this is cardstock that I'm doing. So look at those. How cool. And these have a really cool feel to them as well. I like color. I like to get that pop of color on something. So how cool are these? So you can use the mistakes from the gel pulls and the good ones. This to me was a good one because I was doing something very specific. I already took a picture of it. I needed it for digital stuff. I create the things that I use for my digital things by actually creating them. And so this was something that was going to be used for that. So I already took my picture of it. Now I can actually use it for different aspects of my journals, this being one of them. All right, so let's put those in the little bucket. I'm so happy this little bucket is so full. And we're going to come back and pull some of these out of here because some of those things, we need these things. Okay, let's keep going and see what's in my Mary Poppins bag over here. Because there's a lot. Okay, let's do these now. So I have some of these that need to be decorated. Let's see. That's a pretty one. Let's decorate that one. Let's decorate that one, and we'll decorate that one, only because they're on the top. So this video is not just about the papers, but also how to decorate them. So let's move these over here. Let's grab this. Whoops. And we're going to do a couple different materials right now to decorate these. One of them is buttons. We all have different buttons in our stash. We can do something simple like these flower buttons. But then I have these, I don't know, sort of funkier wooden buttons. Now I didn't edge around it with ink yet. How pretty is that? That's a pretty button. Let's add a couple more buttons to this. So these are plastic buttons. And I'm just using glue to attach these. There's my 3. Now, this side I can do completely different because you're going to be seeing this side on one side of the paper. This side you're going to be seeing on another side of the paper. So let's take a completely different button. And just do that right in the middle. So we have flower buttons, circle button, buttons, all different types of buttons to use to decorate. Okay, So let's leave that one there to dry. Let's move this to this massive pile. Okay. The other thing that I am obsessed with, and if you have watched me, you know, I have done videos on this. These are those nail art things that people decorate their fingernails with. And let me give this a fold first. So I love decorating these little tiny smaller scale items with these. Actually, let me add more glue. These little tiny smaller scale items. Actually, let's do a flower. So we have a butterfly and a flower on that side. I use a ton of these. You know what? Not every side needs to be decorated. So you know what? We're not going to decorate that side. There's another reminder for you. Some of them, yes, I do decorate both sides, but some, not every side needs to be decorated. And if it does, when you go to use it, if it does need to be decorated, come back and put something on it. Let's do a couple of these flowers here. There's that. I'm going to open it up. So these little nail, I think they call them nail charms. They're just flat back acrylic things. They stay on too pretty good. I get them on Temu, and I can get a bag of them, like 600 of them, like that big of a bag, for under $5. Sometimes I can even get them for a couple of dollars. I'm telling you. I love these things. I just ordered some for my mom. She loved them. So very different background here, but how cool. It's the same on both sides. Cassie, just sit down. She's trying to come over here. Yeah, it's okay, Cass. Good girl. Just lay down. Okay, good girl. She likes her blanket on her. So, the nail products. Don't put them on my nails. I don't need them. I was just out shoveling and getting away ice. I chipped so many nails today doing that. I do things in life. So, life happens. I don't care. This is my reality. It must be nice to sit around and not do anything and love that aspect of your life if you're not worried about those things. Oh, the other thing. Flatback gems. I have this huge bag. I have been working through these. I don't know. It's been a year. It's been a year and a half. I don't even know. My friend Bill gave them to me. Him and his mom do the, what do you call that? The diamond painting. And I was lucky enough to get those from them. Oh, I didn't have it on the end there. There. The glue will dry clear. I just did 3 there. Let me just do 3 over here. And I think I want to do some of the white. And these go relatively quickly. Extremely simple, but yet, you know, just a little bit of bling, just a little bit of something cute. This I have to put away because I will make a mess. You know, the other thing that I have that's great to attach to these are, I have these wooden hearts. You can get something like this from the Dollar Tree. These I happen to get off of Temu. But Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby, I'm assuming Michael sells these too. Let's do this one. When you're decorating these, it's okay to have things come off the edge. Normally I color these wooden things first, but we're not going to. And once again, I'm just using art glitter glue. I have it come off the bottom edge. These just take a hot minute to dry. I'm not using hot glue on them because the glue comes through those little cutouts. And let's do another one on this side. These are really pretty. And they come in any type of shape, design, whatever. Just give that a second to hold. There. How cute is that? And once again, it doesn't matter what's on the other side because it's on the other side of a page, so you're not going to see it. These are a little thicker than a lot of some of these other things that we've been doing, but really pretty. All right, let's move these out of the way. I know they're wet. They will be fine. And that's that one. I think I did close-ups of all of them. Let's put these in here. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about when it comes to coordinating things within your journals. When I create a journal, I typically have like a running theme of items that I'm decorating with in my journal, whether it be a specific type of ribbon, a specific type of flatback gem, a specific type of sticker. I have that throughout. So if you have a specific type of sticker, let's see which ones we're going to use. That's pretty. Okay, we'll do this. And I think we're going to do that. Yeah, let's do those. You can ink this if you want. In this case, I'm not going to right now. These are those stickers that are like the waterproof stickers that are for your like water bottles or whatever. I use them in my journals. I love stickers. So I have my sticker down. I'm going to give it really good contact. If you wanted to glue it, you could glue it. Now, I have these going opposite directions because this goes opposite directions. So when I fold this over, once again, I am going to come in and I am going to add some glue to this. But when I fold this over, this is going the right way and this is going the right way. So customize something with stickers. And then you wanted to cut that out before you stuck it down, whatever, you can do that. So stickers, another fun way to decorate your whale tails or tabs. Okay, let's put that in the pile. And let's see. Oh, yeah. We're going to keep that one for later. Oh, yes, I have this. So I had gotten this when I had gone and done a dump Recycle Center haul. And inside is this beautiful handmade paper. So, yep, I am going to take one out. I'll come in and cut better. But there's a reason why I tore this out. Look at that. How pretty is that? And then you can come in and you can ink. Actually, let's grab a different color ink. Grab my blue. And that's going to hold on to the ink so nicely. Handmade paper. You can cut it out regular or you can tear it before you cut it. Let me, here. You can kind of see. If I hold it like that, you can kind of see how pretty it looks with that torn edge. So, handmade paper. You can get mulberry paper. You know, you can get all that sort of handmade paper stuff. Okay, my other idea. I came across a whole bunch of these vintage envelopes. These were all sealed. I'm going to do something else with them. I got a huge stack of them. But they all have postage on them. Now, I'm getting two at the same time because these are all sealed. I don't know if you can see that. There's a design on that. Is that the inside of the envelope? No, it's the outside. The outside of the envelope has this very faint design to it. That's what's on this. This one, if I wanted to hold it sideways, look at that. I have that on one side and I have that on the other side. So all different aspects of this I can cut out. Actually, that's going to be upside down. That's not what I want. I wanted to come in from this way. So don't be afraid to trim. So you can, oh, wait a minute, that's still going to be reversed. Yeah, it's going to be reversed. That's okay. I should have done it the other way. But if you're using it sideways, it's fine. And once again, this has that decoration on the back. And if I wanted to use handwriting, oops. Great for sideways. And then there's that decorated back. All different aspects of these I can punch out. Not exactly what I thought I was going to use it for. Hold that sideways. Decorate that with your whatevers. So definitely think outside the box with all the different types of papers that you have. These I can use with something else. Let's put that there. Make sure you clean out your punch. So cutting up old envelopes. That was that one. I have so many things in here. Okay. I don't remember if we did scrapbooking paper. This one's seen better days. It's a little mangled. So it's perfect. And then we can come in and decorate these using flat back gems, using all the different buttons and whatevers. The other thing we can do is keep this and use this in a layout design for something. So that's not what this video is about. This video is I did double-sided scrapbooking paper. This is Stampin' Up! Paper. So these make a great neutral background. So if your paper gets a little damaged, a little crinkled, a little whatever, when you cut things like that out, it doesn't matter. A great way to use those things up. Let's see. Got a whole bunch of things here. Oh, this one, I thought, you know, whenever I'm stamping off, I used this in a video the other day. When I'm stamping off and cleaning off my stamp, look at that. So once again, it's just scrap paper that I'm cutting up. If you wanted the lined paper without all the ink wipe off on it, you can do that. I don't think this is going to fit. It does. Yay. And look at the lines go. That's cool. If I wanted just the lines, can I get one more? Yep. And sometimes if my paper's too thin, it doesn't punch right. So do 2 of these back to back. So look. How cool is that? And these I get from the Dollar Tree. They come in so many different colors. But once again, it was a scrap paper, but a lined scrap paper. So I thought that was cool. Let me put that over there. Let me put that over there. Okay, let me keep going into my bag here. My Mary Poppins bag of art supplies that I got ready for this video. Okay, so I got a board game at the Recycle Center / Dump. These are playing card. Wait, I did playing card the other day, but hey, you know what? This is a different type of playing card. These are double-sided, and these are great if you're going to use it on the side. How cool is that? I don't know if I can get another one out of this. I can. Once again, double-sided. I can use it any side I want. So these are like trivia cards. Playing cards, but trivia cards. So we stuck that in there too. All right. This one. I had gotten this parchment paper. It's parchment paper for baking. I don't think I feel comfortable baking with all of this printing on it. I didn't get it for baking because I don't feel comfortable with that. I got it for my art. And what is that? I'm binding something over here. Oh. So let's clip off a piece of this decorated parchment. And I'm going to put the sticker back on it so it doesn't unroll. In this case, I am going to fold this in half. I'm going to do that. See, that one didn't cut very well. This has that really cool crinkle factor, if you're into the crinkle factor. If you wanted this to be a little more sturdy, glue this on top of cardstock or, whatever. But parchment paper, baking paper, whatever you call it, once you glue it together, it's going to give it more stability. So I thought that was a really cool paper to work with. Let's do another one. Yeah, see that? That's why I'm doubling it. This paper's a little tricky to cut out, but triple it next time. or, like I said, glue it to cardstock. So a very different paper to work with, but still very cool. Okay, let's see what else I have. Here's what else I have. Watercolor pencils. These are the Tim Holtz ones. I'm not going to grab my watercolor paper, but I do have some cardstock. And I can just scribble some designs. You do not have to be artistic with these. Just get color on the paper. That's all you're going for. Once again, it doesn't matter what you have next to each other. Now this can be if we have regular colored pencils. That one didn't go there. Not that it matters, but these are the Distress, what are they called? Watercolor pencils, but they're the Distress watercolor pencils. So you get your color down. Come in and spray it. I do not have one of these made ahead of time for the magic of YouTube. We're going to let that dry and we will come back to it, because I have a lot more stuff here. This one, I thought this was a fun idea. I like my stickers, clearly, from Temu. And sometimes we get, oh, wait a minute, all this stuff is falling. Sometimes we get some of these stickers that we're going to also coordinate with, just like I was saying, in our journals. But these are label stickers. Let me grab a paper. We'll grab a piece of this. Oops. Yeah, dance all around there. So we can, now when you very first open these, you always lose a couple stickers. These are the ones we're going to use. Try and peel the tape off. You can leave the tape. Let's leave the tape. We're going to use those because it breaks my heart that we lose stickers in these. But we're doing labels because if you're like me, I use a lot of labels in a lot of my aspects of things that I'm creating. All right, so we have some of these labels, and this was just a roll of label stickers that I got, like I said, on Temu. Let me grab my bone folder. Let's give that a good press. If I needed to come in with tape, with glue, I can do that. Let's do this angle. I'm trying to get that straight, but it's not going to be. Look at that. How neat is that? And some of these would have been thrown away. Just break that off. It's kind of neat. So it's label stickers, but it's also like the beginning of the roll label stickers that I would have thrown away. So that one's cool. All right. I've got a lot more things in this bag. What is this? Oh, so this one. So we have the Tim Holtz photos, the snapshots. Oh, here goes some of my things. Let me grab that. And we can do some photographs. Or or use up some pieces that you wouldn't necessarily use in something else. Let's see. I did not pick one out before. I was doing so many other things. That's kind of cute. We'll do this one. Now, keep in mind, anything below here is going to be right oriented properly. Let's give this a little bit of a cut here. There. So we can do Tim Holtz ephemera, but we can do photographs. How cute is that? These guys are upside down, but I can always put on some decoration of some sort. And these are thick. Let's do a sidewards one. So it doesn't matter who's going what way. Everybody's going to be seen. That way and that way. So that one. Tim Holtz snapshots or photographs that you can use and hold them either way. Still works. So that's another idea. Let's see what else we have in here. All right, we already did that one. We already did that one. I did stickers, but let's do a couple of these just because I wanna. And I wanted to pull this out. So this is a book that I got, same place, the Recycle Center, the my local dump. And it's an amazing book. So you can use magazines or you can use books to do this. In this, let me see. Yeah, we'll pull this page up. Look at all of the different textures and the different things that we have within this one page. So we have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have him if we want to do photographs. Oh, there goes all my bugs. Hold on. Let me put my bugs back in here because we're going to do the bugs. Not with him though. I dropped them on the floor, but I'll get those later. Yeah, this is a very long video, so thank you for hanging out with me this long. Okay, so let's do some of these textures. We have that one. We have that one. Now, this is a book, but it's magazine weight. How cool is that, though? This one, I know my punch makes funny noises. Love that. I'm gonna get these frogs. Let's do these frogs, because then they're going both ways. Nice. Oh, look at this frog. Awesome. And then we can come over here and do some of these lizards. All the different aspects of one page. Look at all the different colors, textures, etc. that you can get. Let's get him sideways. If we can. Little funky right there, but you know what? I'm good with that. So there, that's cute. Maybe you need a bee for something. That works. Look at all the different things that I'm able to get here. I'm just, I don't know, I'm having a blast. This little lizard's gonna go halfway here, halfway there. Tons. So this is a book or a magazine that you can cut up and recycle. Where's the other thing I just pulled? Oh, let's see if this is dry yet. Nope, still wet. I'm gonna leave that right there so I remember. Because, you know, I'll probably forget. Oh, let's see, what else do we have in my carpet bag of tricks over here? This is why I like bags. All right. Now, this one, I have this for a couple of reasons. Yes, it's packaging, and I'm recycling packaging, but it's alcohol ink. Well, it looks like alcohol ink. I'm allergic to alcohol ink, so I can't do alcohol ink, but this is to represent alcohol ink. You can do alcohol ink. I can't. So, recycling packaging and alcohol ink all in one. This might be a little thick. This is thick packaging. So let's peel some of this off. But I pulled this one aside really to represent alcohol ink. You know what? Let's do the other side. There. How beautiful is that one? I miss doing alcohol ink, let me tell you. If I want to do it now, I have to wear a massive respirator, gloves, etc. I do it like maybe once a year outside. Maybe. I mean, I'm anaphylactic to it. It's still wet. But we have another thing that I just pulled out. And where did that go? Oh, here it is. Another paper. And this paper I normally like to coffee stain, is tracing paper. So I'm just going to pull a little piece off of this. I normally like it coffee dyed. It gives it a really nice crinkle effect, very much like the baking paper. This is going to have to get folded. And the way I cut it, not all of these are going to come out. So I folded it into fours. Oh, they all did come out. Yay! So very delicate. It's almost like a vellum. So we're going to call this vellum, and we're going to call this tracing paper. I don't have any vellum right here, but keep in mind, you could use vellum. And now if I'm going to stamp on this, I'm going to stamp using StazOn ink. StazOn ink will hold up nicely onto that type of paper. And StazOn is a very different sort of chemical composition than some of the other inks. And then this might be one of my last things. I'm just going through my bag here one more time, my carpet bag of tricks. So I have this how-to watercolor, and I got this also at the Recycle Center. I'm going to open this over here. There's something here that I wanted. This page right here. I'm going to rip this page out so it's more doable in my short, small area space. If you do watercolor, a lot of us have watercolor swatches. Sometimes we use them, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're making watercolor swatches to test out, like, okay, what colors am I going to use for my Christmas card this year, etc. Recycle those swatches. But when I found them in this, I was like, oh, I love that. I love stuff like that. I think that's really cool. And then cut it right in the middle. Recycling the pictures, which I know we've done in part 1. We recycled the pictures that are in books. But I thought these swatches were amazing too. This swatch also has some leaves and fun things with it. Just, I loved it. It has numbers, it has colors, it has painting, and oh, it just had so much. So I'm going to fully cut all of this up, including the words. I'm going to use all of this. Really cool. This one is still wet, and this is not going to fully cut, I don't think. Oh, let's see if it did. Oh, look at that. This is the watercolor, Tim Holtz watercolor pencils. I could have gotten a couple out of that. Look at that. Oh, you know, I do have one more. Let me grab. Where is it? Over here. No, that's not what I want. All right. I'm not seeing what I want right here. I think it fell. All right. So I'll just walk you through it. What I was going to do is I was going to take and set an eyelet. You can set an eyelet in these. We're not going to set an eyelet because my eyelet setter is not right here. But the other idea that I had, and we will do this one, we're going to pop a hole in this. We're going to grab a bulb pin. Close this up. And then you can take any type of charm that you have. I happen to have these large charms that I'm just having a blast playing with. I got these on Temu. I think they were called Kwai charms. So you can set an eyelet in these, which of course my eyelet setter is not here. Set an eyelet and then do your little dangle. There. And have that sticking out your journal. So much fun. So many more ideas. I mean, really, I could have done probably 2 more videos, but this video has gone on long enough. I don't even know how many techniques I have in this video. We're going to call it, I don't know, 20, 30. I don't know. You'll see what I title it. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a long video series for me, but clearly I'm passionate about it, and clearly I love doing all this. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you stayed this long, I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel because we're going to be using all of these in projects very soon. I could use the numbers, so help me out. And check out my website, www.elementalenерgieswithchrisanne.com. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care and be free.